Hey guys, this is Moritz from Wolkify.com, a page for passionate people interested in personal growth and personal development. In today's video, I will cover the concept of groundedness, which is very closely related to become a confident human being in general. So we're gonna talk about the concept of groundedness, how it is related to core confidence, and also how you can train your groundedness so you become more confident too. Check it out. So what does groundedness mean? Groundedness essentially means that you have a very strong sense of reality. You look at everything that is going on, you take in all the information that is given to you, and then everybody creates their own reality. It's only that some people have a much stronger reality and they're much more certain of that reality actually being true. Now, one good way to explain that is the following. Imagine you have a small little tree, just a small, fragile, frail tree. So whatever is happening to the tree, there's some wind coming from left and right and back and forth, the tree is gonna adjust to its environment. Everything that the environment, everything that the surroundings are throwing at the tree is gonna move with the environment. Now instead, picture a strong, old, grounded tree. It's massive, it has a massive stem, it has massive roots going very, very deep, and if there's a little wind blowing, the tree will simply not be affected by that. The tree will just stand its ground. And the deeper the roots go, obviously the higher the tree can grow and the more stable the tree will be. So for a tree, it is very important to have very deep roots, and it's very important to be very grounded in order to not be shaken so easily. That's exactly the kind of concept that you have to use as a human being as well. If you are the kind of person who is very fragile, very frail, and very uncertain of yourself, it's gonna be very easy for you to be just blown over by a massive storm, for example. If something in your environment is throwing you off, you're gonna be off your path. Instead, if you're very grounded in your sense of reality, there's gonna be almost nothing and no one that can shake you. So in order to grow your roots deeper, in order to become a person that is more grounded, it is important that you constantly test your sense of reality. Reality is what you make of it, and at the beginning, your sense of reality will be very fragile. This is simply because you have not tested it as much as you should have. It's very easy to stay in your comfort zone because then you can imagine what reality should look like. But when you actually push outside of your comfort zone and you have only your gut feeling that you can trust, that's when your sense of reality grows stronger. Because it will actually turn out that some decisions that you take on your path will not be congruent with your sense of reality. So then you need to repaint that picture, so to say, of what reality looks like. These are the situations when you actually grow massively. These are the situations where your root becomes deeper and where you become stronger as a person. So if you want to become the kind of person who is very sure of himself, who is very grounded in his reality, then of course you need to create a kind of reality that you can fully trust on. For that, it is very important that you're a massive action taker. If you are taking massive action constantly and your brain actually figures out that when you're taking action, you turn out to be right sometimes, your brain will remember these incidents. Your brain will remember that you are right when you listen to your gut feeling. And that in turn will make it easier for you to listen to your gut feeling the next time you have to take an important decision. So instead of being quiet and holding back and letting others do the thing that you want to be doing, taking massive action will allow you to have a brain that lets you trust in yourself. The more action you take, the more obstacles you will face along your way and the more resistance you will feel. Now this sounds like a bad thing, but it's actually a very good thing. Because the more resistance you face, the more grounded and the more certain of yourself you need to become in order to overcome those obstacles. Obstacles are simply there to make you grow your roots deeper. And the deeper your roots go, the more certain you can be of yourself and the further you can go and advance on your path. So to sum up, if you're a person who is taking massive action constantly, then you will also face a lot of resistance, you will overcome a lot of obstacles along your path, but this will help you to become more grounded. You need to create that kind of reality where everything you do and say simply makes sense. That doesn't mean that it's the right kind of reality, objectively speaking, but it means that it's the right kind of reality for you. Everything you do and say simply clicks into the kind of picture that you have created for yourself, and that in turn allows you to be the action taker that you want to be. So if you want to create a stronger sense of reality for yourself, and if you want to become more grounded as a person, I can highlight 2 books in particular that will help you along that way. The first is by a guy called Steven Pressfield. He wrote a book called The War of Art, and in this book he describes his battle with resistance. So he pretty much describes how he constantly battles resistance as an artist and how that made him a stronger person in general. And then there's another book by a guy called Ryan Holiday. He wrote a book called The Obstacle is the Way, and in this book he talks about turning obstacles into advantages and how obstacles along your way will make you a stronger person and more certain of yourself in general. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate the support you have been showing me over the last couple of months. I try to come up with a lot more videos in the future, so stay tuned, subscribe, and talk to you next time.